Hello everyone! Welcome to today's stream. Today we are playing some more Final Fantasy XIV, post Shadowbringer's MSQ. Today we're doing a bit of a later stream, but that should be okay. But yeah, settle on in. Let's get started. Bring up my hotbars, and I just realized my door is open, so let me close that really quick. Also, hello Mousy. Hello, hello, hello. Settle on in. Huggies and enjoy. Let's get started. Um, uh, talk to each of the characters before we proceed with finishing off the quest from where we left off last time. In two separate worlds, the seeds were sown, and through determination of two indomitable women, they have quickened into this heroic moment. I feel honored to have been present to. It has taken a long time, but the dream of lasting peace with the kobolds may soon become a reality. Oh, thank you. Um, for checking that for me. I am a little sick, or rather, I'm not sick, but I'm having allergies. Allergies. Um, it is all, and it's all thanks to Alize. That was weird how that came off. The treatment may have restored the patriarch to senses, but it was the Admiral and Gabu's words that touched his heart. This moment belongs to all of us. Wolf Mage have done it without each other. Gabu, I'm so glad we could sway the patriarch. Convince, persuade, sway. Thank you for making it possible. Thank you. And Eleazar, the Admiral seemed hell-bent on worrying me to death. Seems hell-bent on worrying me to death. And I suppose the ends justify the means. Well fought, my friend, well fought. Very good. Um, it would seem we have found a way forward with the kobolds. Next, we will help the Second Order free their tempered brethren. Theirs is a far is far theirs is far the from the only order, of course, and it will take time. No small amount of time and effort to reach the rest, but reach them we will, however long it takes. I will say that I would say that I was in your debt, but that has long been true. I instead instead I will say thank you for helping us pilot a new course not only for Limsa Limensa, but all of you. Let's see what Merlwood has to say. Anything new? Savor the moment, lad. Your next task can wait. Judging by the complaints a back complaints my back is making, I may have overreached the ravages of. If I could befriend you all, then surely the other kobolds can befriend men too, and I'll do everything I can to help them. Facilitate us help. Babu is such a sweet and innocent being. Linksa! Linksa, you cutie, how are you? Linksa is a very good burb and a very good streamer, and he deserves the love. give Lynx a shout out. Yeah, Lynxa mainly does musical games, so that's a good one to check out. Actually, welcome. I dare say we could all do with the arrest, Alize not least of all, given the amount of aether she has been expending of late. Actually, if you wouldn't mind shouting out Linkta for me.
This goes out to all the homies whose
Okay,
butt cheeks are sore from sitting that fat stack down all night. Get up and stretch that ass. But not in the prison sense. My boy Frankie B didn't recover from that shiz. Stretch those leggies.
Stretch, and actually, if you wouldn't mind helping me out and shouting out Linkta, as you are a mod. Because I get the shout out. I know the other kind of shout out. The / shout out command. I don't have the other kind. There you go. Futures unwritten. Alphanaut's face is a picture equal parts jubilous and relief. Of equal parts jubilation and relief. Yes, you are a low guy, and you deserve the love. I have stretched.
Right. Let's return to the Rising Stones.
And I'm gonna mute my mic for this because it's voice acted.
Admiral, something strange is afoot at the floating city.
Breathe, man. What is it?
I think it's best you see for yourself. Please, come with me. What in the world is that? A tower? You can see it too, then? I feared I was losing my wits. One moment I was patrolling as usual, and the next it was just there.
Yes? This is she. I am. I'm looking at it. What? Understood. Send the Elder Seedseer my regards. The communications officer. It seems this isn't the only tower. They've sprung up all across Eorzea. Nothing more is known, only that they appear to be of Garlean construction. Our allies on the Alamegan front are on highest alert. Forgive my directness, but would you join them? They may well need the help.
Of course, Admiral.
We shall make all haste.
My thanks. I will return to Limsa to weigh our response. Look for Commander Hext when you arrive in Alamigo, and may the navigators speed you on your way.
Also, I should add that my laptop is on the fritz, and I am looking at chat on my phone. So forgive me if responses are a little weird today. Nuggies! Enjoy the nuggies. Don't eat too many or you'll turn into an Avali. Also, I did this off stream, but I finally finished the Yokai Watch event. Because dear God, I wasn't going to grind for 3 freaking weeks on stream. Nothing but fates for 3 weeks. Dear Lord. Okay. So it's right here by the Alamican Quarter teleport. Let's talk to Drakatia. Though it isn't visible from here, the local port that a tower-like structure has appeared to the south. Babu, don't worry, he's with our Maelstrom friends. Meaning we're free to deal with the latest problem to fall in uninvited into our laps. It appears to be business as usual in the city. At least we'll be able to tell us there have been any developments out. Peace. Also, I should /p that because that's a friend's username.
Thank you for coming so soon.
Okay, I'm gonna mute my mic.
I'll send for Commander Aldin at once, and we can decide what to do about these infernal towers.
Roger preserve!
It can't be.
The palace! After them!
You're here, good.
Well, well, well! To be received by such an illustrious cast! Why? Even the hero of the piece is here! I feel quite starstruck. Is that a sigh?
His body, more like. You don't fool us.
Oh! You saw straight through it! Anyone would think you dealt with Asians before. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandaniel, and may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance.
Towers, what are they for?
My, straight to business is it? Suit yourself. It is my intention to recreate the final days. to which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
The final days? But it was the Ascians who labored to prevent them.
You're quite right, though I would expect no less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues. Honestly, the three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much interest in such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion? Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument, but thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging. Free to use my powers as I see fit, to fulfill my heart's desire. And my heart's desire is to lay this half-broken world to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind!
What? Why would you want such a thing?
Because I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die! You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too! Oh, yes! I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering!
This man is absolutely insane.
I'm different, you see. From the ancients who clung to dear life, and from you. So don't bother trying to reason with me. You will find I have no reason, or creed, or any such tripe. I just want to destroy the world. But please do resist with all your might. It will add to my enjoyment. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles. We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers, and this very star our stage. Ah, but I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed patron, Lord Xenos, eagerly awaits you at the heart of the chaos.
Yes, a very beautiful dragon, Achi.
While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain, transcendent moment with you. And it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash. Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled. For if you should disappoint him, my trusty companion here, whom I've dubbed Lunar Bahamut, will burn your cities and everyone in them.
Everyone out! My men will tend to the blaze.
Well, let's talk to each of the characters. Our scouts report that the Asian and his dragon have left Garibonia. It seems this was purely a social visit. Though our objectives were different, I could understand why Elidibus and his fellows acted as they did. And Daniel, it will take me some time to make sense of it all, if indeed there is any sense to be found. Are you alright, Wolfman? The rest of us are fine, if a little singed. That dragon let us off lightly. Honestly, though, me, a madman, would use the name Lunar Bahamut, which just amounts about sums up Van Daniel, I suppose. What part of these towers could feasibly play into the Telophore's plan? I, for one, am at a loss. For now, we should bear word of these developments to the others. I only hope Urianger. Thank goodness everyone's safe. Managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Raban, can I leave it be you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit and investigate the towers. We need to find out what it is. We'll go with you. No, you won't. You'll rest. From what Merlin tells me, you're due sometime off duty. Should we learn anything about the tower, we'll be sure to share it. Till then, I want you to rest. Farewell, but if you need our help, don't hesitate. Take care of both of you. But I think we are going to pause MSQ right there, because there's something I've been wanting to do that I couldn't do off stream. That is unlock the ability to buy walkie totems for my blue mage. So, we are going to open up Lenoska. We're gonna go here. I did some of the Blue Mage quests way back when, because I wanted to just unlock it for Bakum's, aka Return Spell, but Explosion. Now, I am going to go ahead and continue the Blue Mage quest until I have the ability to buy totems, which will unlock a few spells that I need. Blue leading the blue. Mortrin, freedom, hate the balance, and only you can prove his innocence. Well, I suppose you'd better show this yellow jacket that getting smacked about by a mad kraken wasn't a waste of time after all. Just take aim at a lateral jaw and fire off a water cannon. Oh, from a mold. If anyone knows how to a proper blast feels, it's him. Gods know he's been on the receiving end enough times. This is the only way. Okay, so I need to equip the Blue Mage spell, Water Cannon. Painful yet refreshing. Refreshing yet painful. See, I was telling the truth. I. Well then, you'd best be going. Been a pleasure. Not so fast, you blue hair. Wait, I'll admit, the spell worked as you said it. But you can't sell those crystals without adequately explaining the risks. Irresponsible. Some might call it deliberately neglectful. You're not under arrest, but from this day forth, you are strictly forbidden from peddling any more of your wares. If I hear you've sold so much as a blue handkerchief, I will hunt you down and throw you behind bars. For your aid in the investigation, my thanks. Very well. I don't believe it. Just as I was beginning to earn half a decent profit. Oh well, that was quite the show. Neither black nor white magic, but something entirely blue magic. Yes, it sure to draw a crowd, as you simply demonstrate. Who might you be? The name's Rois, and I manage the Colosseum in an area where daring young souls such as yourself perform feats of bravery for the audience. Unlike the Colosseum, the vast majority of the entertainment pit and against beast. With the matches being brought to an end before either side suffers any serious injuries, while our patrons revel in the thrill of combat. Acts of wanton butchery and bloodshed are considered distasteful. Rather than severe savagery and slaughter, our ample appeal lies in the personas that are that participants assume to add a touch of drama to proceedings. However, I'm not one to settle for a mere modicum of success. My goal is to make the Castilium renowned the world over, and to that end I have been searching for something truly unique, and that is when I heard of this blue magic of yours reached my ears. Martin, blue, my bundle of crowd-pleasing wonderment, how would you like to be the very first contestant in Mass Carnival? Be an event being your magic art against a host of bestial foes. Listen, this is a serious stuff. I don't go through all the trouble of learning all spells. Bunch of copying spectators. Paying spectators, my dear. Some of them are quite wealthy. And you said can't earn a rather. Now you're talking. Hey, darling, where are you going? I was about to make an offer. Hate to burst your bubble. Apprentice here barely taking the first. Wouldn't want him meet end in the middle. You know, would he? I can use something besides these portals. I think that would rather differ purpose. If I only needed warriors to triumph the pit fiends, I have more than enough already. Blue magic or nothing. Afraid if you're not confident in your, I don't mind wait. Perhaps you could oversee his training. Training that one part of the deal. So I'm not asking to do it for free, my dear. Quite the contrary. You'll pay me for it too. And oh, hold on. I'm getting a message from Mom. Okay, my mom has sent me something. And it will be here pretty soon, so I may have to step away for picking that up outside momentarily. Okay. That's what I like to hear, Martin. Let's get you tooled for your costume. I have to wear a costume. I got a bad feeling about this. And we're going to equal them a little lock us the ability to get more blue magic spells. We're also going to pick up maybe next stream on the on another quest line. That will allow us to get more blue magic. That's a separate quest line. However, we're just doing this to unlock the ability to buy Wallachie totems, which will then allow us to get more spells. Because Blue Mage. Just occurred to me that I never asked whether you actually wanted to take part in Mass Carnival. Are you willing to endure Martin's training regimen in preparation for the greatest performance of your life? Become a Blue Mage, enter the Mass Carnival. Made the right choice. I have high hopes for you. As for your illustrious mentor, I believe he should be ready to make his grand entrance any moment now. I'll be honest with you, more extravagant than what I'm used to. Color's not bad, I suppose. Look marvelous, man. Everyone's feast your eyes on Great Sword. Azora. What's that about? Well, nothing really. It's a lends a certain panache to your stage persona. No offense, darling, but the Martin doesn't have quite the... You'll be playing the role of an enigmatic nobleman has designs on grace, to grace the Celestium with his outlandish magic. My manners. I never asked your name. We should come up with a little more inspiring before you step in. I have some information concerning you two gentlemen. As you may heard, Ulda has a law that bans members of the beast tribes from entering this area. It was mainly kept to keep goblin merchants. I have poured over they had had someone else pour over the documents, and it seems there was no mention of Mamulja whatsoever. You are free to stay as long as you please. And my mom messaged me. Oh. Well, with that, I think my work here is done for the time being. Nathan, I leave your presumably hands. Best of luck. I'll admit, I don't think this is how things would turn out, but what's life without a few surprises, eh? Like I'll be guiding you on the path to be a Mage. I get the impression you're no stranger to getting up close and personal with fearsome beasties, but when it comes to mastering colloquy technique, you've got a long way to go. It's the creatures themselves who be doing the teaching, and the spellbook will point you in the right direction. Of course, I don't mean to. I wouldn't be much of a mentor if I just said come back when you've got a few spells on your belt. Seems like you need something. Tell you what, why don't you start by learning Blood Drain, which I already have, and who knows, might even come in handy. Oh, it nearly slipped my mind. There are a few spells that you can learn from creatures in the new world. Luckily for you, Jah has brought him a fine selection of totems infused with their ether. Save you the trip across the Diego Deep. Go get in your hands dirty fighting off being absorb ether and magical. Naturally, we're not going to just give them to you, since you're still only a novice. Wouldn't want you fighting off more than you do. Then, when you think you're ready, talk to Gahil Jah. Gahil, very impressed with my wolfman. Kraken appeared. Now we'll play impressed with skills as we want these totems. Heard the man. There's a whole world of spells for you. Start learning. Okay, now I can get those totems that I wanted. So I'm not going to be doing the rest of the Blue Mage questline for quite a while. However, loyalty totems. I can get Off Guard. This is my tank stance. Mighty Guard. White Wind, that is a healing. Transfusion, that is a healing spell that kills me. Yes, Transfusion kills you, but heals your party's mana and HP to full. So, from that we got... Wait, we have to use the totems in our inventory. Got Off Guard. Transfusion. White Wind. And Mighty Guard. Blue magic spell. So, White Wind. Restore HP and the HP of all nearby allies by the amount of equal to your current HP. So for instance, if my current HP is full, I will restore 3,782 HP to the entire party. Very, very... Let's see. Transfusion. Restore all HP and MP to a single party member while incapacitating yourself. The additional effect inflicts Brush with Death, meaning you can't use it for 13 minutes. Duration, 600 seconds for Brush with Death. This basically kills me, but it full heals party members. I'm not going to be using right now. Off Guard. Increases damage taken by 5%. Recast. However, this action requires timer with Precarious Light. So this basically increases damage taken from an enemy, by an enemy. Mighty Guard reduces damage taken by 40%, and basically this is tank stance. Now that I have a full set, I can finally learn Blue Mage spells from well-equipped totems. And I have access to the Max Carnival. I think. Nope, I haven't accessed the Max Carnival. However, this is where we're leaving off for now in order to continue the MSQ. Next time we do Blue Mage stuff, we're actually going to be switching gears and going after the Shadowbringer questline. But for now, we're going to switch to Summoner. And we're going to go to Mordona. And while I'm teleporting, I'm going to step away to use the bathroom. BRB. Okay, I'm back from my restroom break. Time to go into the Rising Stones. What's this quest? Another song. Oh, that's the Heaven's Word hard duties. I'll unlock those. Though my through my new or rather old through my new or rather old, by which I mean young, um, though the through this body has a good deal more stamina than the one I wore at first. I confess I've been looking forward to a amount of respite. We've had a busy few days. Have not. Ishol returned just before us. It seems she knows about the towers too. Ah, how good it feels to come home to the Rising Stone. It's here my heart feels most at peace, and my mind. Taru? Welcome back, Wolfman. Make yourself comfortable. Let me know if I can get you any. Would seem you have had quite an eventful time in my absence, but I am fully rested now and ready for more. Now to talk to Kryl. Ah, you're back too. Good. We've received the report from the Alliance. Since we are all here, perhaps those who bore witness Alamigo could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account. No sooner do we one problem than another appears. Would all the it would all seem tediously predictable, but for the endless variety of our foes, this Fandaniel sounds even more unhinged patron. Unhinged, perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime theatrics, he gave away little about his plot. We know only that he intends to reenact the final days, that the towers will somehow facilitate. He also called the dragon Lunar Comet. Let's not forget that little detail. The creature clearly did resemble the Elder Primal. Maybe, but the fact is that it answered to Fandaniel. The fact that it answered to Fandaniel would suggest they are not one and the same. One and the same entity. I think it more probable that it is some manner of simulacrum born of Asian magic. Whatever it is, for now we can but work closely with the Alliance to remain vigilant. I believe that concludes our news. What of yours, Yestola? I have been to see the Sultana, knowing how quickly the immortal flames are to dispose of their tempered I judged it best to provide them with the cure first. As soon as I had successfully recovered, I traveled to Ul'dah and delivered the Ffxiv to her grace, along with detailed instructions on use. Yet my visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of troubling tidings. The Mortal Flames had been on the cusp of agreeing to a truce with the Amalja when negotiations abruptly collapsed. The Amalja claimed that a number of their kind have been abducted and that men are responsible. Not as known of the perpetrator as yet, but as the Immortal Flames went about investigating the abductions, they came upon one of Daniel's towers. On the subject of the towers, you may be interested to learn that they are not an exclusively Eorzean phenomenon. According to the Alliance, they have been sighted as far as Yansha. Then it would seem reasonable to assume that they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. Well, as you said yourself, we can do little for now save remain vigilant, and since we are dealing with a dragon, obviously ostensibly at least, I believe it would behoove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such a Tinian. Tinian? Now just a moment. If he could be persuaded to lend us his lance, I'd be the first to welcome it. But the truth is, we struggled to even find him. Let me and Kryl worry about that. We'll sniff him out, no matter where he is. If indeed he is hiding, we have ways of locating him. Regardless, if there are no objections, we shall part one. Well, rather than sitting around, I think I might go to each of the city-states and educate them on the use of the Ffxiv. They would doubtless appreciate it, but might you consider taking a moment's rest before you leave? You would be fresher for the task ahead. Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. Was ever the way. The world often needs saving. Save it we shall, I for one do not intend to follow nihilistic madmen to take us all to the grave with him, not when the future holds such promise. Nay, I would do all in my power to protect those whom I hold dear, just as you always have. Meanwhile, somewhere in the law,
Scouts should have been back by now. I'm gonna go and find them. Oh, thank goodness for that.
Glory be.
Glory be to Garibald!
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace.
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life. Moreover, I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration. I took the liberty of informing him that you await his coming, though I confess I may have singed him a little in the process.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
Ah, my apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me. Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. Huh. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
One moment, someone's knocking at my door. Okay, I have returned. Okay, After? In the face of this new draconic threat, you would indeed benefit from Mostinian's presence. Yet I cannot help but wonder how Cryo and Tataru intend to locate him. They certainly seem confident, however. Anyone in the Dawn's Respite? Rahatia and Tola. While events have taken a grim turn, I must say I have enjoyed our time adventuring together. The visit to Azisla, not the least. Since then, I have spent some time pondering why Lord Almond rejected Owen's proposal to investigate a cure for the iconic corruption. Perhaps he judged the endeavor too difficult to do, I considered, but it seems more like that it was not our best interest to cure the for a cure to exist. Whatever the truth may be, full glad am I that we could what Owen began. I wonder what our friend Emperor Solus would think were he to learn of his own flesh and blood seeking the other to usher in the final days together with a rogue Ascian, no less. Okay. Like that's everyone for now. Unto the breach. Alize is waiting patiently for the return of certain scions, not least of all you. Good news, Wolf Mage. Thinkford and Nuriandre have finished their tour of Garlemald and are on their way back here even as we speak. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say. Ah, a welcoming priority. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure to for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have solved. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was little more than a spectator. The Lion's share of the credit must go to Alize, Braha, and Wolpmate. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little us could. As you have also heard, though, hasn't been all tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back. Though I can't help noticing that we're one Oriandre short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? Oh, couldn't lose him if I tried. And I did try. Repeatedly. No, he decided to linger in our surprise Rabana and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. And mayhap you would do the same for us. Indeed, it was just as Lisa said, worse in fact. Devastation as far as the eye could see. Nirvana, Nevra, and the third, however, were notable by their absence. Might they have met their end at the hands of Zeke and Fenn? Perhaps, or perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but has grown busier. Throngs of soldiers and civilians working their day and night to build, or rather, transform it. Transform it into what? That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Andre, certain aspects of the design were clearly devised with the manipulation of in mind. Magitech in other words. Yet as unnerving as said edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working nary a word in exchange between no, uh, no one overseeing construction, no one bargaining orders. It was as if they were possessed, tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser to not to take the risk. Can Daniel find Bahamut to might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. We'll be sure to save some for Yanji. Which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Raban is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requests our presence. And why not leave that to us? You must be weary from your mission. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. In that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter. As promised, as I promised Kyle, need not all attend. Hopefully that doesn't get copyrighted. If it does, it'll mute it a little bit. That was my alarm for taking meds. Okay, I returned from taking meds. Very well, I suggest the rest of us make our way to Amigo forthwith. Cooking. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to with Oriandre before the meeting. Gervania, how making order. Do the boop, don't populate you. Gonna boop the nozzle, what you gonna do? Boop. We are going to be playing our summoner for the rest of the story. Holy crap! The other AR, the other BARR. Holy crap! Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Wolf Mage Guild. Help you enjoy your stay. Oh, the other bear. I read it as BARR because I'm playing Final Fantasy and ARR is the base game. My bad. The other bear. Welcome. Sorry about that. But yeah, welcome. We are doing post Shadowbringer's story. Hopping up. While we may safely assume that the Telafori are behind the works being carried out in the Imperial Palace, we can only guess as to their purpose. The royal menagerie is still closed to civilians, but Daniel and his pet certainly left their mark. I wonder if there have been any developments regarding the Amalda abductions. Can be no mere coincidence that the incidents began occurring just as the towers first appeared. Though I was only in Revenant's Toll a short while, I did manage to squeeze in a brief drink with Lamine. Spring water only. It would be a it being a flying visit. I am currently post Shadowbringers. That is what I am up to. What are you doing, the other bear? My friends, much and more have I heard of your travails in our absence. Heartened I am to see you all hale and whole. As are we to see you safely returned from your mission, Oriandre. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome. Well, if it isn't Alphanode and his merry band. Arnvold, whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd been away on a mission. And who's to say this is part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so familiar. I thought you'd have grown a bit taller after a whole year in another world, but apparently not. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older. My body has hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Elizans are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of our height. Mark my words, one day I will become will come the day will come when even a great Aurochs such as yourself will crane your neck to eye. It was not on until 20th summer, my 20th summer, that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Umbrita towered over me nonetheless. Ah, that sounds like fun. Arvenvold being out brings out the best in Alpina, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company. Almost endearing. So what exactly brings you here? Oh, for Dola mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Wait. Does this have something to do with the towers? Eh? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. We've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterward. Alright? Bardola is going with him. That must mean... My apologies. As Arvenvold rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it. But yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled on Shadowbringers or post-Shadowbringers, though I'm not telling you to leave, but I recommend muting the tab, because this is post-Shadowbringer stuff. This is far past Stormblood.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. Tis no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital, and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad
if you don't mind, then.
of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Teleforoi's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Daniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar, and that was the last thing they remembered. But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses. And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
So the Empire is the common thread.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first. Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
What?
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
Oh, I just saw that comment. Given that you rarely pay attention to the story, I think you should pay some attention from, well, your past Heavensward, but from around Heavensward on, because otherwise you won't have a lick of idea as to what's going on. But, to each their own, I just think it's a really good story. It's all talk hereafter. Look elsewhere. I accept that numbers can prove a hindrance when infiltrating enemy territory, but to send only 2. Now that it's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore.
So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamoldva and Vmar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
And you, Fudola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Aldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
So the Empire's finished, is it? But that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat. And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head! I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way. Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, eh? It means a lot, you know. You coming with me.
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway.
But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming. I realise I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light, or Alphino for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime. No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try. They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
He does not want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task, chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
Bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru! I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian. And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut. But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
Gladly. I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
And we are done with Unto the Breach. Before we access that, we're going to talk to Alize and Grahatia. I get the impression Armvold is a lot more apprehensive than he's letting on. He lets on. He will have been grateful to Alphanode. Alphanode was there to see him off. Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. His was another name that featured prominently in the history books, and it will be fascinating to meet the man in the flesh. Here be dragons. Alphanode is keen to track down Estinian. The Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. There's no time to lose. Speak with Odin Ishgard. Oh. I was confused for a second there because I saw Dragon Spawn as a user messaging me in Discord, and that is just Achi. That is Achi. Raha? I've only visited Guard once before, after the devastation of the 8th Umbral Calamity. To see the place, all its former, forgive me, all its original glory, a tantalizing prospect indeed. Assuming we find him, this will be my first encounter with the famous and if he is half the man Avenode claims, I fully expect a good week at the knee. Perhaps do a bit of painting. All present? Good. Let's split up and search for Estinian. Since we're relatively this place, Garha and I will look around the open spaces, square, the market, and whatnot. Wolfmage and you and Wolfmage can delve into the nooks and crannies. Very well. Let us reconvene at the airship getting late, with or without Estinian. I think I shall begin at the Sky Steel Manufactory, so perhaps you could try the congregation. Lucia may well have heard of our friend's return. We could just walk there. Good evening to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Emmerich sent word that he attending the gather you have not come in search of him. What do we owe the pleasure of? Actually, no, we were not aware that Sir Sin had returned to Ish. But as I expect, remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he could seek him seeking an audience with Lord Emmerich, find him absent. In any event, I'm afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. The airship landing. One of them, autumn tide, boiling swift, beating all drink softly, biding time, marching, left beat. Fire as shadows flash, forgotten pulls engaged in fire will be replaced, for our echo speaking. Fade away, part of it, autumn tide, burning brightly, autumn. Sulfur, lethal web, our silent. That's the only part of the song I know. Thirst and every bit, as Andre suggested.
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
Too long?
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alphino.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
Oh, fuck.
I am not Alphino! If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Ugh! Had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side. To think the day would come.
Would someone mind explaining what is going on?
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long. No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
At least someone's having a good time. You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
Perhaps he sees them as brothers he never had. I think he learned how to talk with people rather than at them.
I wouldn't be so sure. He still loves nothing better than the sound of his own voice.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azis La.
Azis La? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azis La, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation.
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azisla together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard. I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
I will admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt?
Sorry for skipping that bit of dialogue that I accidentally skipped. Anyway, how is it? That's a complaint, but I don't expect to find myself here again like this. So this is the Delta Quadrant, where countless dragons yet lay imprisoned, the great Tiamat among them. Yeah, Tiamat summoned Bahamut once before. He may have yet again, willfully or no. It has been quite some time since I last set foot in Atlas, but I understand that the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet with Tiamat during your visit? Alas not. We had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relative records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Well done. Mage is the person to ask. As far as I know, he's the only one of us who have met Tiamat face to face. Even now, she remains a prisoner of the Alagon Empire. Let's just say it helped that Midgard Sommer was there to Ah yes, you were a friend of her father. I too have met with Tiamat. After the Dragon Song War, I came to a close close. Let me try that again. After the Dragon Song War came to a close, I came here to speak with her. A worm had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance and asked as much. He said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns undimmed. It torments her even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was not out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Needhog is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own, and I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. Absence, it falls to me to watch over. And we're going to take the monies. And I think this is a good place to stop the stream for tonight. We've made it pretty far, and I have enjoyed a nice, decent stream. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my stream. Hope you guys stop by again. Until next time, I've been Wolfmage1011. I'll see you guys there. Bye!